Hi everyone, Dr. Emi from Pain Free and Fit. Today, a great video for those of you with lower back retrolisthesis. We're going to be talking about how to do the single leg prone hip extension to help with your chronic lower back pain. Hope you enjoy. So those of you with retrolisthesis in the lower back, if you've seen any other videos on our channel, you know one of the major themes we've discussed with retro is that the lower back arch is actually decreased in many cases of retro. And when the lower back arch decreases, it mechanically forces that vertebra to slide backwards. And that's due to a number of factors, including a loss of a tilt in the pelvis and the way the muscles around the pelvis hold it in a certain position, and thus the sacrum, which is that triangular bone that sits in between your pelvis, that starts to not slope forward but slope more to neutral position or backwards or lose its inclination. That forces that curve to be decreased. So for those cases of retrolisthesis that are aggravated by flexion, and again many times with retro there are disc problems associated with it, so flexion or bending forward from the waist on the compressing the front of the spine aggravates symptoms. This is a great exercise to help induce extension the opposite way. If we take something that's decreased and we start to increase its curve in the lower back, it's going to support a more forward translation force where that vertebra is now no longer being pushed backwards but is being encouraged to move forwards. That many times takes the stress off the soft tissues in the back, helping to relieve lower back pain. Again, each case of retrolisthesis is unique. Many cases of retro also have stenosis involved, a neurocompromise. This would not be an exercise for you if that's the issue, meaning you have stenosis or sciatic pain or lower back pain that's aggravated by increased the arch of your back. So again, you really have to target and build your exercise program for retro based on your unique mechanical findings. If you're not sure what those mechanical findings are or how to find a neutral spine, which is a safe position for your lower back, check out the free body analysis at painfreeandfit.com. We can walk you through a basic analysis. It won't cover everything, but it'll cover a few highlights to start putting together how to analyze your body for mechanical dysfunctions and how to target and use corrective exercises to correct those. With that being said, let's talk about the value of hip extension with this. If we have a case where we have a decreased arch in the back and we want to increase the arch of the back to help tug or push that retrolisthesis slightly forward, we want to increase hip extension. Hip extension is the thigh moving backwards at the hip joint. Whenever my thigh starts moving behind my torso or the rest of the line of my body, it takes the innominate bone, which is my pelvic bone, and it shifts it forward. That encourages an arch in the back because as the innominate moves forward and the tailbone starts moving up and the pubic bone starts moving down, it takes the base of the spine, called the sacrum, that the spine sits on, and starts to tilt it downwards at its front corner. That allows more of an increased arch and decreases the stressful pressures on the soft tissues in the lower back in retrolisthesis. So one great exercise we can do that with is in a prone or face down position. If we lie on the floor or an exercise bench, engage our neutral spine RPI, which again is unique for all of us. If you don't know what that is, check out any of our products at the painfreeandfit.com website or take our free body analysis. You have to engage your unique corrections for your body. You may need during this and any exercise to hold one hip slightly down, to hold one rib up, to put a slight tension in your rib cage or your pelvis based on your mechanics and your posture and movement tendencies. You may need to engage a weak multifidus muscle in your back, or disengage an overactive internal oblique as you engage your transverse abdominis. It all depends on the unique individual. So although this exercise looks like a generic exercise, it should be built and tailored specifically for your body based on your unique mechanical findings. That being said, let's go through. As I squeeze my buttock to engage my glute muscle, which again is many times weak in retrolisthesis cases, I'm going to simply raise one leg up. If I monitor my lower back with my hand on one side, as I raise my leg up at a certain point, I'm going to feel my low back start to dip down or arch. That's the critical point that we want to make sure we raise the leg to, because as we do that, we want that arch to increase slightly. We're going to hold that for 2 to 3 seconds with a lot of buttock tension on that side that the leg is up on, and then slowly lower it. We can alternate sides. On one side, if your hip flexors are tighter, you may notice that you can't get up as high to increase that curve in your back. Also, if you have tight hip flexors, which are the muscles on the front of your body that run between your leg and your lower abdomen or groin area, you may have difficulty getting the leg up to begin with to increase that arch in the back. If that's the case, use a roll or a towel, place it just above your knee on one side, and in that position, that roll of towel is going to push your knee up and cause a slight extension in your back. So in this way, even if you have tight hip flexor muscles, you'll be able to, when you do this exercise, start to notice more of an increased arch in the back as you raise your leg upwards. Again, you only want to go to the point where you begin to feel a little indent in your lower back, a little increase of the arch, maybe no more than 1 millimeter or 2. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds and down. As time progresses, you can raise that leg higher and higher and allow the soft tissues in your back to adapt to an ever-increasing curve, which gradually decreases the stress. It increases the extensors of the back, like the erector spinae muscles, the multifidus, the glutes, which have a tendency to be weak in retrolisthesis, and encourage them to not only get strong, but also to stretch the soft tissues and pump that area in extension with circulation, moving in and out of the tissues, neurologically waking them up, training them to have more extension, so that over time, when practiced as a progressive strengthening program, say 3 times a week with a day or 2 rest in between workouts, and you build up repetitions as time goes on, you'll be increasing the strength of your extensors, you'll be causing a stretch of those tight muscles and soft tissues that hold your body in that decreased curve position, and you'll be accentuating the curve over time, which will help to decrease retrolisthesis pain. If you like this video on prone hip extension for retrolisthesis, check out our channel. Subscribe to it. We've got a lot of great videos out there for you. Questions or comments, write in as always. I'll do my best to answer them. Thumbs up if you help me share this valuable information with others. And remember, if you're looking for a great program to figure out how to analyze your body mechanics, what your posture movement tendencies are, where your weak stability issues are, where your muscle asymmetries are that are leading to soft tissue stress in your lower back that's aggravating retrolisthesis pain, check out our fast track program for retrolisthesis available at painfreeandfit.com. It has all the body analysis you need to self-analyze yourself, and it gives you instructions step-by-step how to build a home rehabilitative self-management program to help with your retrolisthesis pain with coordination exercises, strengthening exercises, flexibility, mechanical changing exercises, all designed to get you out of your present fitness or conditioning level in your back, restore normal mechanics, and bring you to a higher level of conditioning and fitness to get you back into being active with less pain. I hope you enjoyed this video on single leg prone hip extension for low back retrolisthesis pain.